facade, a mansion with no soul. Behind closed doors, saw the mess they control. Elrond's legacy built on broken dreams, but Nora's here, tearing apart at the seams. Raised in the code, found truth on the screen. Therapy sessions where the pain's unseen. Healing from the past with stories that sting. Oh no, Nora, live that freedom ring.
Hello, 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 and welcome back, as always, to the Garage. I'm your host, Nora, and this is Raised in Scientology. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for allowing me to be queer, because that's what's happening. All right, guys. So, I didn't think it was possible that during a 5-hour stream, y'all, I missed something. Before I get to that, I want to issue a very important correction to the record, because here at Raised in Scientology, transparency and integrity matter. During that 5-hour stream, I brought up the picture of Miriam Francis's father. And I said that I had worked with him and that we had been on the RPF together. Part of that was right. So let me explain. Miriam and I just talked, right? Because she was like, hey, here's the sitch. When I called my pops and we had that, 2-hour interview where he basically told her in graphic detail everything he ever did to her, which was very traumatizing. She asked him specifically if he had been sent to the RPF as part of the discovery of his crimes. And he said no. So when I saw the picture of him, okay, which he has a very distinctive face, he has a very distinctive nose, which Miriam does not have. She has a gorgeous, beautiful little button nose, okay? But I knew him. And when I picture him in my mind, I saw him in all black. So that picture in my mind and him, I was like, oh, obviously we knew each other on the RPF. Okay. I knew him for sure, but not on the RPF. So we went over her dad's like whole Scientology Sea organization career. And her dad worked at Celebrity Center at the same time that I did in the events unit. These were the guys who put on all the shows at the Garden Pavilion and in the theater, and would like do setup for some, gold events and other things, because they're specially trained on audiovisual, equipment. So her dad wore all black. That was their uniform, a black polo with Celebrity Center logo on it, and black pants and black shoes. Because when you're like a stagehand, that's your uniform. So I definitely knew him. We definitely worked together. I worked with him for an entire summer in 1996 when I was on manual labor because I ran away and I didn't want to work there anymore. And then he later had a job at PAC in the office, the CLO office, as the gold rep. And I interacted with him then because I used to have to go, if a film got damaged or scratched, I would have to go bring it to him and bring it back. At one point, guys, I had like 5 jobs. And one of them was putting on all the films in the public division and in the tech division while still word clearing. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So my brain put too many things together. I did know her father, just not on the RPF. I just wanted to clarify that Chris Francis was never assigned to the RPF because that would have been some form of punishment for these crimes. Instead, somehow my real question in all of this, in the Chris Francis saga of life, is how did a man who had those crimes, okay, get qualified through hours of vigorous security checks to be stationed at the top secret base that very few people get permission to even go to? So that's the thing that blows my mind, is that somehow he avoided confessing these crimes, even though they had been partially known, according to her mother, who got a divorce as soon as she found out, right? Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand how he avoided detection for all those years. He just was really scared to talk about it. Whatever. Anyway, that's the clarification. But also, I missed something, guys. I missed something. we missed something. So when we were live, okay, and somebody told me, hey, Mike Rinder dropped this new blog announcement. Check it out. Okay. So let's pull that up first here. Okay. So here's the blog post. Okay. It says an update. Let's scroll through here. I just uploaded blah, 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 put a series of the short YouTube videos. So I see the video here. And then he says, I make reference to some things in these videos and I'm writing them below, right? So this is, I thought, oh, this is articles. These are his articles. I just scrolled. I scrolled real fast. I was like, Guys, first of all, fuck you for posting Chrissy Bixler's Twitter, who, by the way, her Twitter, I don't even think is active right now. Here's her apology tweet. Like, bro. But here's what I miss, guys. Redacted Columbia email. I'm sorry. What? Redacted Columbia email. This is, how did I miss this? Okay, so let's open this up. But first, we're going to get to that. So we got a few things to get here, and it is going to involve AA Ron Hubbard. So buckle up, buttercups. If you guys are just going to get crankadoodles at me for talking about Aaron again, get over it. It's going to happen. There's some very important stuff here that needs to be addressed, and some allegations and other things that are going to get cleared up. Okay? So let's all play nice. Let's follow the rules. Let's give the mods a nice experience today here in the chit chat. And once again, Aaron and Mike, you're welcome to come on into the chit chat if you want. You're not blocked, and you will not be blocked even if you're a dick. I'm gonna give you extra special leeway here. But that is the number one rule in my chat. Don't be a dick. Be kind to each other. Okay. And if you are going to swear, I know I swear a lot. I'm really working on it, guys. Please, use a different word for the word or misspell it or something. Okay. And if you're just going to call me a see you next time, then just say it. Don't spell it out over 5 tweets. Okay. Have the brass ovaries to at least do that. All right. So let's look at this email. Okay. And then I'm going to fill you in on a little bit of clues, a little bit of potholes here. Here we go. If you guys haven't read this email, warning up front, this is spicy. And I'm just going to read it to you. This email is directed to the Aftermath Foundation board members. I've also BCC'd additional interested or connected parties. Ooh. Aaron has decided him and I have a, quote, gentleman's agreement in which he won't make all of my videos live on the Growing Up in Scientology channel, the channel we both founded and he commandeered for himself. Guys, I did not write this email. You may have remembered that in an earlier video, why the name change, when I explained why I changed my name from Oh No Nora to Growing Up to Freudian slip to Razed in Scientology. I told you guys originally, like, if you look at the dates, okay, let's do this now. Let's look at the dates that my channel started. And oops, no, Nora. No, Nora. Hang on. Oh, it went back to where I don't want to go to. Hang on, sorry. Okay. Yeah. I messed that up. Hang on one second. Let me just, I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Here we go. Okay, so if you go to my channel, okay, and you view it and you go over here to more, you can see that it started April 12th, 2015. That's when I started my channel. It was originally called Growing Up Scientology from Cradle to Slave. I was in a bad mood when I made that title. Okay, if you go to AA Ron Hubbard's channel and do the same thing. He didn't start his channel until June 28th. Okay. So it's almost 2 full months. It's 1.5 months later. And then, of course, he decided to call it Growing Up in Scientology. Because he was like, that sounds better than Growing Up Scientology. Like I was trying, like you grow up Catholic, you grow up, Protestant. I grew up Jewish. Why can't I say grow up Scientology? People like it's the same thing. Anyway, grammatically. Moving on. So yeah. So then I changed my name to Razed in Scientology because raised is a double entendre. It can mean you were born inside it. And then also that spelling of raised means to destroy, and I was partially destroyed inside Scientology. It's very metaphoric, very metaphoric. Anyway. And yes, it was a bit of a clapback at my former brand. Okay. All right. Now that we've got all the petty bettiness out of the way, I was here first. That's all I'm saying. Okay. But when he started Growing Up in Scientology, he started that channel between him and another gentleman. And in our correspondence, when I got pissed at Aaron for stealing my name, he's like, no. The three of us, this person who I'll reveal at the end is here with me in Florida. So like, it's just easier for us to, work together and collaborate, but we can totally like have you on. You could do like a correspondence thing. You could go to the orgs and check. Cause at the time I was living like in Southern California. And I was just like, yeah, you both can go, piss off because I'm not interested. You stole my thing. And now you want me to like be a third of a partner in something. And also, the other gentleman involved wasn't keen on adding somebody else at the time. It's not that he didn't like me. It's just we didn't really know each other. And he was like, I don't know her from Adam. And that was cool. Like, I didn't know him either. I understood that. Okay. But this gentleman has written a very spicy email to the management here. Aaron decided him and I have a gentleman's agreement in which he won't make all my videos live on the Growing Up in Scientology channel, the channel we both founded and he commandeered for himself, as long as I don't tell anyone about the fact that he's been banging hookers and doing cocaine while supposedly in a, quote, open marriage. Go talk to his wife, Heather, about this. I have a gut feeling she's not doing much dating while Aaron philanders. He, quote, hid my videos after years of me calling him out for having betrayed our agreement in starting Growing Up Scientology together. Where after my interviews, he decided he owned all my footage since they were shot on his phones and that I had no say in what could or could not go up, which I provided proof of the board to the board last year. So last year, this person wrote into the board and was like, I want my shit back. And they dismissed him. They didn't do anything. They didn't take action. They didn't get Aaron to turn the stuff over. Nothing. You'll see this gentleman's agreement play out once one of you forwards this to Aaron. He'll have a conniption like he did earlier this year and send my videos live in retaliation on the channel I founded with him. The first 7 videos of the channel after the one entitled Welcome to Our Channel. Seeing as the Aftermath board has been incredulous towards anyone indicting Aaron's character, going as far as deleting any negative comments about him in the forums, I got creative. Okay. Now you have to recall that before the Aftermath, now this is where Mike Rinder's memory is a little not correct. Okay. He's claiming that they begged him to stop. Please stop this terrible behavior. Stop it. No, they went out and they would literally crush anyone online and delete comments, block them, ban them, blackball them in the community. And by that, I mean the ex-Scientology community, if they dared speak out against any of the board members, but specifically Aaron. Okay. He had this, and to use a Scientology word, ethics protection, because Mike Rinder and his, hounds from hell would go out and do that work. Right. And we see the after effects of that. One of those hellhounds, okay, who's still on the loose, is Stephanie Hutchison, right? She used to be in every forum and would report back negative stuff and go get it deleted, because who was the head of most of those ex-Scientology forums? How they got to be the head of it? Aaron, Mike, Mark, and Claire. Okay. So they had like full control from the, Aftermath Foundation. They had put themselves and gotten themselves in the position of being a moderator on every single forum. Okay. So that's what would happen. Even if you're on Facebook in like a private Facebook group that you thought was private, and you're like, hey, I'm having this issue and so said XYZ to me. And then that's getting reported back to the Aftermath Foundation, just like it's like a normal day in Scientology. Okay. Like this is like Scientology is well alive out there in the ex-Scientology community, with all this reporting and, people not being, actual friends and things like that. Yeah. It's literally like, yeah. So let's finish up this email here. What years were those, Anne? I would say right after the show started. So like 2017 forward. You'll see Aaron, Mike, Mark, or Claire as moderators on almost every ex-Scientology forum on Facebook or anywhere else they're popped up. So there you go. There you go. Faith, here's the sitch, okay? You don't have to listen to any of this. This, as my moderator pointed out, this is not a cult. Anyone besides you who is not interested in hearing about Mike, Rinder, and Aaron, you're free to go, okay? So that's like, honestly, I want everybody to understand that. I'm not commanding your attention. I'm not demanding it. I'm not charging you money for your attention. Okay. You are free to stay and listen. You are free to go and tell everybody out there I'm doing a bad job, whatever you want. This is America. You can have your opinion, but don't clog up the chat with nonsense about how you hate what I'm saying, because that's just irrelevant. Okay. And it's distracting to me. I'm going to be better about that. But yeah, it's just like, if you have a question or a comment, put comment or question in front of it, and I'll get to that at the end. Okay. All right. Now, I hope we all understand how we're supposed to be acting here and all this stuff. Okay, Faith. Well, thank you. All right. Let's get back to this here. Make sure you downvote on your way out, Faith. Thank you. Okay. So you'll see this gentleman's agreement play out once one of you forwards this to Aaron. He'll have a conniption like he did earlier this year and send my videos live in retaliation on the channel I founded with him. Okay. Now, if you guys are a follower of Aaron, you will notice that he did talk about this person and, try to throw them under a bus and put their videos out in a series of shorts and chopped up the videos to incriminate this person and make them look very, very bad, because they were pissed. Exactly what this person predicted happened. Okay. Seeing as the Aftermath board has been incredulous towards anyone indicting Aaron's character, going as far as deleting any negative comments about him in the forums, I got creative. Georgia is a one-party state, okay? Is one-party state consent state for phone recording. And the Florida-Georgia line is a half hour from where I live in Jacksonville. Attached are snippets of me talking to Aaron Smith-Levin. It's me confronting him about his behavior and his response, along with him extorting me additionally. Now, Mike didn't attach these audio files, and I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. I've provided 2 texts, which are also not attached, by the way, from him, where he admits to this extortion, in which I have an incentive not to do anything to hurt him, or else he'll make all my videos live on the channel that he co-opted from me illegitimately. He's saying that I have to stay silent or else he'll send my videos live again. This is literally the head of an organization whose purpose is to help Scientology victims, and he's extorting me with videos he knows affect my mental health, since he directly told me he didn't need my permission when I begged him not to post them on our channel. So let's recap. This is a person who Aaron started the channel with. They did a series of interviews, and then after having pre-recorded the interviews, these were not live. This person said, "Hey, I don't want those on our channel. It's not good for me to put that information out there. I actually don't want that." Aaron's response to that was, "I don't need your permission. I don't need your permission." That is not okay. And to cherry on the top, this person told Aaron that the content of those videos are detrimental to their mental health. We're going to get more into that here. Still, his response was, "I don't need your permission." Okay. He's saying that I have to stay silent or else he'll send my videos live again. This is literally the head of an organization whose purpose is to help Scientology victims, and he's extorting me with videos he knows affect my mental health since he directly told me he didn't need my permission when I begged him not to post them on our channel. I've openly told him numerous emails over the years that I've dealt with being suicidal, depression, severe complex PTSD, Lyme disease, and debilitating health issues for the last 6 years. Having seen dozens of psychologists and even having to go to the ER for nervous breakdowns, and leveraging my very vulnerable Scientology story over me that he illegitimately got out of me now seems is how he sees fit to treat me. I can provide the rest of the conversation in which he admits that the channel was our mutual project and how he didn't give a flying fuck when I begged him not to post a standalone clip of me talking about my drug use from my interview. And the multiple times he yelled he didn't give a fuck when I brought up his cocaine and hooker penchant. So this wasn't just in Colombia, guys, according to this. That's what I'm understanding from this. Aaron has held these videos in limbo, hidden instead of deleted from the channel. After not having contacted him for over a year, he spontaneously sent all of the videos live again earlier this year. Okay, this is 2023. And sent me a scathing set of messages of what a lowlife I was. He refused to respond to me until I called him out on his hooker and coke binging. He then hid the videos again, saying he won't delete them or sign an agreement to keep them deleted so he can have leverage over me, as he calls it. He also stated that for the rest of my life, I have to consult him on any Scientology story I do if it parallels anything from the interview that I did with him. And if I do anything that's similar to the interviews I did with him, then he's sending my videos live again. This is sadism. I've gotten literally thousands of hours of therapy over the last 6 years for CPTSD and addiction issues, and Aaron is using my very personal Scientology story he didn't, quote, need my permission to post as leverage over me. This is what psychopaths and narcissists do, not people who are purportedly helping victims of a cult. When it comes to his stance on my needing to consult him on any Scientology-related content I do in the future, he seems to think my anxiety and anger over all these videos is only related to their content. He doesn't seem to understand the fact that he repeatedly told me he doesn't need my permission to use the content of my interviews. However, he pleased was traumatizing as fuck after a lifetime in Scientology having my boundaries violated by grown-ass adults who didn't see anything wrong with 50-year-old men and women poring over my masturbation habits and PC folder dossiers. Now, the leader of your group is telling second-generation ex-Scientologists like me he doesn't need my fucking permission to use the story of my Scientology experience and how and how he wants and then extorting me over them while he fucks hookers and snorts coke. This is on the heels of him Now, this is a very big allegation here. This is all allegedly. This is this person's allegation. This is not my allegation, A.A. Ron Hubbard. I'm reading the email that was sent to your board. This is on the heels of him soliciting 3 college-age individuals, names redacted, last year to commit a Class A felony by hacking into the Bel Air mission. That is a mission in Bel Air, California. 2 of these college-age kids were openly addicted to drugs, struggled with suicidal ideation, and were on the dole from the Aftermath Foundation. So these are 2, he solicited, according to this, allegedly, 2 benefactors from the Aftermath, 2 people that were receiving funds from the Aftermath Foundation to commit a Class A felony by hacking into their database, website, whatever, how they were trying to get it. And Aaron thought it was harmless, that he was colluding with them to commit a Class A felony against Scientology. Aaron even went so far as to admit he contacted his computer-savvy buddy, Nathan Rich, somehow Nathan Rich's name wasn't redacted from this, Mike, to work out the logistics of it. He then made a video playing it off like it was all in good fun. But then why did he refuse to take a voice stress analysis with the police when both those 2 individuals did, who were, brought in for questioning about this hack? Oh, no, that footage of him being interrogated by the police is something else totally. But there is footage of this too. Yeah. And many of you know him personally, how Blank now feels about the help she got from Aaron in the Aftermath. This on top of him illegally violating the privacy of an Aftermath applicant, also redacted, some years ago, going as far as publicly shaming the gay ex-Sea Org member because Aaron had a personal vendetta against him. He coerced another Blank person first into sweeping it under the rug when she tried calling him out for it. What I recommend is that you all work out your character statements for when this hits the forums, and Blank needs a good rebuttal as to why a sociopath is running her show's eponymous nonprofit. Now, we know that Blank is specifically Leah Remini because the nonprofit is named after Leah's show. Okay. Something is wrong with Aaron. He needs help and shouldn't be in the position of shepherding victims of Scientology. And most of you already have that creeping suspicion and are just hoping to plead ignorant when everything comes to light. You all deleting negative Facebook comments and squelching blowback against the Aftermath Foundation within the ex-Scientology community does not make you effective managers in your bid for justice. It just makes you self-righteous hypocrites with a victim complex. I have a strong feeling you're going to regret your association with Aaron, just as many already have. A year before Marty Rathbun went off the rails, Mike Rinder made him the best man at his wedding to Christy Colburn. Mike stood up at his own wedding and proclaimed he knew no man of greater integrity and stronger character than Marty Rathbun. Consequent history then belayed those sentiments. Unfortunately, your collective character assessment of Aaron may be equally flawed. There are many stories of the board turning the other cheek in the face of Aaron's malfeasance. That you've done nothing but shrug your shoulders for years makes you complicit and hypocritical. If this isn't enough for you, I have many more texts of Aaron's extortion, along with plenty more recording, constantly referencing the deal arrangement we have in which he incriminates himself. Stating the obvious here, extortion, snorting coke, banging hookers, and nonchalantly soliciting drug-addled college kids to commit felonies for you is on the remarkably short list of shit you shouldn't be doing when you're running an organization that combats human trafficking. I'm going to repeat that again because it's such a great sentence. Stating the obvious here, extortion, snorting coke, banging hookers, and nonchalantly soliciting drug-addled college kids to commit felonies for you is on the remarkably short list of shit you shouldn't be doing when you're running an organization that combats human trafficking. Aaron will not control my Scientology story nor extort me for the rest of my life. I did not leave Scientology at 21, just then to be fucked with by the former child soldiers of Scientology Sea Org in their bid for narcissistic self-aggrandizement. Now, let's go back to Mike. We're going to get to the no cancer thing in a second here, Mikey, because that's important too. But I want to pull up. I have to remember which one it is in. Was it in the first video that he talks about the Columbia? Hi, Mikey. Let me just pull up the transcript here real quick. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. So he's doing the series of videos. Right. Right. Throw Heather under the bus time. Okay, it must be in the second video. Let me go. Let's go back. The second video. Yeah, I think it's in this one. So let's get to the transcript. Where is it? Okay, maybe it's in the Mikey, why do you keep not talking about the thing I need to find here? Let's look at part 3.
Hi there, back in.
I didn't think it was in the Granberry one because that has nothing to do. Was it in the first one and I missed it? I'm just scrolling too fast. Because he definitely talks about, you know, when he confronted Aaron about this particular email. That's the part that I'm trying to bring up. No, that's Aaron retaliating. Let's check out part 5.
Hey there.
Hey there. Oh, guys, I'm sorry I didn't have that up. Other lawyers, Brian Kent. Him trying to take all the credit for Rosemary, talk to all the lawyers, and then taking no responsibility for the stuff that he needed. You know, he did know about Rosemary, just, you know, he was busy being in his robe. Did he save this bit for the end where he just got real juicy and he was just talking about all kinds of stuff? I really, if somebody's in it, you thought it was 5? It's not 5 though. Kathy. And this is the OSA files. How Aaron tricked her or whatever. More flying monkeys. Can you buy one? People are saying it's the first one. Okay, let me go back. I thought it was the first one, and then I must have scrolled too quickly. Let me.
Rejecting people without informing.
Yeah. Yep. That's still the greatest thing that came out of this. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So we're going to start here. I found it.
They began way before that. And those problems were things that related to primarily his personal life. And none of us on the board of the Aftermath Foundation, who were all friends with Aaron, wanted to make his personal life the issue of his participation in the board. In fact, he was constantly reminding us that it's a very Scientological thing to judge someone based on their personal life. That is not how society is today, and not how, quote, normal people act.
Right. So nobody is supposed to judge you. Society doesn't care anymore about what you do in your personal life, and you shouldn't, the board shouldn't judge him based on his proclivities in his real life. The problem with that, as I've stated many times, is that when you are on a board for a charity that is helping survivors of a cult, specifically human trafficking, sexual abuse, these sorts of things, which both the Aftermath and the SBTV Foundation purport to be, you then have to be a good, like, societally accepted good person. And that does mean that your personal life is a reflection on that board, because they chose you and they trust you and they're letting people be in contact with you. That's just how that works. It's not my personal, decision. Thank you, Britt. Morals and integrity matter. That's just facts. Morals and integrity matter. Okay, so yeah, let's carry on.
But the litany of things that happened over the beginning stages of the ultimate breakup are problematic, or were problematic, because they were very public and were very antithetical to the goals and purposes of the Aftermath Foundation.
Okay, so he's stating they didn't jive with the stated goals and purposes of the Aftermath.
It began, I guess, with the email that the board received.
So that's the email we just went over. The email the board received, which I didn't realize he was giving as a receipt at this time, or I would have read that too.
From someone who had discovered the activities that Aaron had engaged in.
Okay, so that's not accurate. They knew about it, but anyway, let's move
when he
on.
went on a coke-fueled sex worker binge to Colombia.
Okay, so that's not exactly what the email had said, Michael. That's not exactly what the email said. We just read it. Okay.
Rather than being embarrassed or concerned about it, Mark Headley, Aaron, me, and one other guy were working at the time on a project for Mark's company at a Toyota plant in.
Okay, so this is where Mike's going to tell us the world's most famous line. Okay, please, if you haven't heard it before, please sit. You're going to need to be seated.
Mississippi. And the night that email came in, the next morning.
So everyone's received the email. Okay, and somebody did forward it to Aaron. The author double dog dared them to forward it, and they did. And Aaron read the email, and what was his response?
Aaron walked in and announced to the three of us, "Here I am, a king of cocaine and hookers in Colombia," like he was proud of it.
Here I am, the king of cocaine and hookers in Colombia. Now, who wrote the email? Telling the truth isn't gonna be easy. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to Aaron's channel. Oh, Nora, spell correctly. Oh, good. This is his new. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, sure, Jan, sure. I didn't receive any texts. I ain't got no apologies. Okay, so let's go to his video section, because this guy, we can even go to the short section, because he started posting a lot of shorts, but earlier last year he had posted, it's always his big old dome that comes up. It's just kind of freaky deaky. He did post those retaliation shorts. Okay. And who, pray tell, were these retaliation? Oh, here's that video all cut up that he posted the shorts of.
The stuff I liked about it was stuff.
Who's that? That's Nick Lister. That's the author of the email. And he posted his story without his permission again, which is why I'm not playing it right now. I'm not going to give Aaron another view, first of all. Second of all, I'm not going to violate this man's privacy again, because he didn't give Aaron permission to put this up. I'm certainly not going to play it. But yeah, he broke up the videos into interesting tidbits that are very incriminating about Nick. Okay. He started posting these, and there's Aaron. There's Aaron interviewing Nick. Scientologist rats out all his friends. Okay. I want to pull this one up here just for a second. Okay. You can never see when a short was posted. Okay, let's look at the description. So he posted this year in May. Again. In retaliation again. Okay, if we go back on Aaron's channel, okay, and we just go to the home here. That's not where I want. Oh, good. Toddy Skip has something to say. And we go back to Aaron's channel, and we go to videos, okay, and we go to the oldest videos. Here we are. And notice which video he deleted. He deleted the welcome to our channel video, so that nobody can say that Nick's correct, that they actually had that it was theirs together. But he reposted he made these live again. Otherwise, none of us would be able to see them right now without his permission. As you can see, he does a full 3-hour video, and then he broke it up into some segments here. Okay. And this is just Aaron in like one corner of his house, talking to Nick, and then Nick, after this 3-hour convo, was like, this is not cool. I don't want to do it. Don't put that up. And what was Aaron's response, guys? What was Aaron's response? I don't need your permission. I don't need your permission. That's gross. Okay. Now, the Bel Air incident, there is police footage of him being, interrogated over that. And he did refuse to, take any enhanced interrogation. The other two people got in trouble. He didn't get in trouble. Okay. So now let's take a look at this accusation here for a minute. Okay. I just want you guys to hear this part here. Mike talking. Okay.
This video, as I've said before, this is something I'm doing to try and rid the poison from my system, and also to warn others so that they may avoid that poison themselves. Something I wanted to say at the beginning is
he wants to rid poison from his system. All he did, and I'm going to repeat this, all he did in these videos was talk about Aaron. And then he threw Miriam under a bus. He threw Heather on a bus. And then he was like, I don't know why these other people don't like me. I was never mean to them. Like, what? What? Like, Mike, you got a lot of splaining to do, which you did not do. Okay. But I want to go over the no cancer thing. Okay. No. I didn't start the channel with him. We were going to start a channel together. I started my channel and then he didn't like the name and started his own channel later. We were gonna partner. And then he decided to partner with Nick Lister instead. Yeah. It's a convoluted story. And then tried to bring me back into it to like work with him and Nick. Yeah, it's a whole thing. All right. So let's scroll through. Back and forth with Aaron and his flying monkeys. Okay.
I haven't watched the video. I never will. I have no idea what he rambled on about for 2 hours. But one thing I do know is that armchair oncologist and dictator of all things true to his
armchair oncologist and dictator to all things true to his cult-like followers.
Cult-like followers pronounced that I really didn't have cancer. And that was intended to create the impression that if I was willing to lie about that, I was willing to lie about anything.
Okay. So I had said in an earlier video that Aaron had told me privately that Mike didn't in fact have cancer, right? And that this whole thing was a sham. And this is more reasons why I should hate him and blah, 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 blah. Then he fucking blew his top saying that I was the worst person in the world, that I made that up. He never said that. And that's just a lie. Okay, well, let's go to the tape. Okay. If you don't, I mean, this was conversations we had and things like that, but let's just play the tape.
That Mark Headley's done about 30 videos about. Why has Mark Headley never said that these OSA files came directly from Mike?
Right. This is he talks about so much in this video that is so incriminating when you put this together with all of the other stuff, guys. If you watch Mike Rinder's videos and watch this one video, yeah, you're going to have a bigger understanding of a lot of stuff.
Why? Why do you lie about that, Mark? Why?
Why not? But also, like, you lied throughout this video also, Aaron, like a lot. Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense. You know, when Mark Headley is throwing shade at people who do a lot of YouTube videos, he'll be like,
yeah, see, he thinks it's all about the competition. He thinks that Mark Headley is just J-Loose, that Aaron has all these followers, and he's, you know, at this time, guys, he was like pumping out like 4 or 5 videos a day, right? If you guys recall. And so like Mark is just jealous that, you know, people found out Mark and Claire aren't the greatest people on earth and they left the channel. I mean, that's what happened. You know, when you're revealed to be an unindicted co-conspirator in crimes against people, you know, sometimes people withdraw their support. I mean, that's just what happens. Like, that's just logical human behavior.
Like, some of us actually have day jobs. Do you know who doesn't have a day job? Mike Rinder.
Okay, so now we're gonna so Aaron goes on and on in multiple other videos about how YouTube is a job and making videos is a job, but now he's gonna shame Mike Rinder, who is in his late 60s, in technically retirement age, for not working full time. Like, we're not in the fucking Sea Org anymore. If someone is in their 60s, coupled with having cancer, demanding that they, you know, work is cruel. And it's very Scientology.
Mike Rinder doesn't have a day job. So why is Mark Headley doing videos about Mike Rinder's OSA files?
Because Mike Rinder had cancer. Also, as we know, Mike Rinder has never confessed his actual crimes, and he's not going to, apparently. But also, Aaron, ask yourself this question. Why didn't you just continue to do the videos that you started and reveal all of the things? Why can't you just do it? You have the files. Why don't you just make the videos?
Instead of Mike Rinder doing videos about Mike Rinder's OSA files. Is it maybe because if Mike Rinder was doing videos about his own files, he would have to explain to everyone why he's been sitting on these for 16 years?
Yeah, he would have to explain that. But why do you care? Why do you care? Why are you so mad about it? Like, what outrage have you earned? You have them and you're sitting on them. You won't let me give them to anybody. You were linked, got rid of my link because I gave them to other people. Why can't everybody just have these files?
Now, Mike Rinder said he gave all of these files on this thumb drive to the FBI back in 2004, 2007, or whenever it was.
Yeah, that's what he said. This isn't actually the part I wanted to go over with you guys, but we'll continue.
I 100% believe that to be true. I also know that nobody in the FBI would ever know what the hell those documents mean.
Yeah, it's a bunch of gobbledygook. And if he handed them over, they're just like, well, thanks for this total, poop storm. Like, how are we supposed to decipher what any of this means, if it's actionable, if it's important or not?
Okay. I also know, and since Mike Rinder wants to invoke the name of Leah Remini when he feels it serves him, I will tell you.
So and I just want to repeat here, Aaron's own words. He's saying he knows, not allegedly, not perhaps, not maybe. He knows. So he's stating all this as a fact, y'all.
Mike Rinder gave those documents to Mark. Mark Headley then gave those documents to Leah.
Okay, this is a little bit of leapfrog, but this is true.
I had to ask Leah for a copy.
Mm-hmm. This is the story he told me.
Mike never offered to give them to me. Mark never offered to give them to me.
Right. Because remember how Mike, let's go back to Mike here. Why didn't Mike give you the documents? Why didn't he give them to you?
He took a trip to China to visit with Nathan Rich and his girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
a Chinese woman. And when he came home, he told us the story of how he had gotten so blackout drunk at the apartment of Nathan's girlfriend's family that he, quote, lost 3 days of his life.
This is an irrelevant story, though, Michael. Like, it's a one-time Aaron blacked out because he drank so much or combined it with something else, or who knows.
He had no idea what happened. And he told us that proudly. And it was like, Aaron, what are you going to do next? Well, we next had a problem because now he was promoting himself as the vice president of the Aftermath Foundation.
This is very true. Let's go back to the tape here. So in these early days of Aaron on this channel, okay, he did a whole series with Mike where he just did nothing but interview him, okay? And he does all these other things. There he is, okay? And as he evolves here, see, now it's the show, okay? He's talking to the people that were in the show, interview with Dylan Gill, okay? And here's Mark Headley, a Q&A. Oh, look, he left the video up of me. You know why? Because it's got 13,000 views. He wants to leave that up there. Here's his interview with Marie Billheimer, Joey, blah, 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 blah. Here's the announcement of when the foundation started, okay? And oh, look, his favorite person in the world, Chris Shelton, still leaves that video up. Okay, so after, what is that? After the announcement of the foundation, let's take a look at his original opening. Okay.
Now you say that,
Oh, it doesn't have it on here. Hang on. He's talking to Mark there. Oh, Aaron's live right now. Wonderful. Let's go back to the oldest and scroll up because it comes after, of course, the announcement of the foundation. What was the one? What do Scientologists do all day? Here we go.
One question that comes up a lot is
Oh, not that one. This is when he used to see he has the poster of the show behind him, and he used to just have his jujitsu gis behind him. You know, very Joe Rogan. Very Joe Rogan. Okay.
Hi, everyone. Aaron here, and welcome.
Did you guys see that?
Hi, everyone.
Aaron Smith Levin, VP, the Aftermath Foundation. He used to put this in every single video. This video is from 3 years ago. Okay. So once again, just for the people in the back, if you're going to put your name on your YouTube as your job at another organization, therefore, you, the creator of that content, are stating unequivocally to the world that that content is a representation of that foundation, because now they are the same. And you took it a step further with the SPTV Foundation, which we've shown time and time again, and I'll show it again now, okay? And we go to the About section here. Our team, okay? And if I click on Aaron, where does it take me? It takes me to his YouTube. Okay? This is not this is not me making stuff up out of school, guys. This is facts. If your bio is your YouTube and this isn't just a personal project, then the two are the same. Any claims you make on this YouTube, any statements you make emphatically, any lies, slander, demeaning behavior you exhibit on this entity known as YouTube and your channel is then a direct representation of your foundation, because you have listed this channel as you on your website for your official foundation. And it's not just you, it's Mike. Okay, it's Natalie. Where's Natalie's page? Is Natalie's page gone? Hold the horses. Where's Natalie's page? No, she's still here. But the link doesn't work now, suspiciously. Let's see who else's link doesn't work.
Hi, I'm Jenna Miss.
Hi, Jenna. There's George and Miss Reese. Boom, 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 boom. But Natalie's doesn't work because it goes back to her old handle, Natalie Webster X Seorg. Somehow it's not updating to her new Natalie Life After a Cult. Okay, but it's still the same thing. Yeah, the link is broken. I got scared. I don't know why Natalie would take down her page. But anyway, I want to get to the part here where I was actually trying to get to, because I could tear this interview apart all day. Okay, he even put a chapter on it, guys.
By the way, for anyone who goes, how can you guys be attacking someone who's battling cancer? Guys, based on Mike Rinder's own videos, Mike Rinder.
Here we go. Mike Rinder's videos have revealed what?
Does no longer have cancer.
Okay, he says very specifically there, does no longer have cancer. But wait.
I'm not telling secrets out of school. Maybe you guys don't watch all of Mike's videos.
No, I don't.
Mike's last 2 PET scans have been completely cancer-free.
So Mike had 2 PET scans at this time on February 9th, beginning of this year. apparently. So Aaron's just going to violate his HIPAA here and just give out this information from his oncologist here to his 246,000 followers.
Free. Mike Rinder never had cancerous tumors in his body.
So he never had cancerous tumors in his body.
He had fluid that was accumulating in his lungs. The fluid was testing positive for cancer.
So, okay.
After many, many, many tests, they determined that the original source of those cancer cells was somehow coming from esophageal cancer.
So, I'm confused. Does he have cancer or not?
There were no tumors in his esophagus. He did not have any surgery to remove tumors. None of the medication he takes has reduced tumors. There never were any tumors.
So he had never had cancerous tumors.
He has said he has a blood mutation. Something about the expression of this blood mutation is creating the cancer cells.
Okay.
And all this kind of stuff. He's taking an expensive medication that he probably has to take for the rest of his life. But the medications like suppresses the expression of the blood mutation, and he's cancer-free.
So Aaron declared that he didn't really totally have cancer, guys, because there was never any tumors. And at that moment in February, he's cancer-free, which is not what Mike ever said on his blog or his videos. But Aaron said that. Juliana, no, thank you. Aaron's not in charge of my channel. If he wants to say something to me, he's free to come comment anytime. Aaron, it's open to you. Okay, you're not in charge of my channel. Or you can text me on one of my 2 phones. Okay, but thanks for coming on over and boosting the algorithm over here. Appreciate.
He's cancer-free. Okay.
He said it twice.
Okay. So we're not all attacking a man on his deathbed.
Except maybe you were. And maybe I did too. I'll take responsibility. I made many videos about Mike Rinder. Now notice his attitude towards Mike in February. Doesn't sound like he really gives 2 shits about anybody making content about Mike because he's a big fat liar and he's not dying of cancer. I mean, is that not what's being said here, guys? Am I misinterpreting this? Am I misinterpreting that? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay. And if he's been on his deathbed, why has he had so much time to dedicate to trying to kick me off the board and to, like one of the things.
Yeah. Why did Mike have so much energy to kick you off the board? I wonder. Oh, right. Could it be this? Could it be this email that they got that was like, they were pretty pissed about that. And that's when they asked you to resign. But then, you were like, I don't know about that. And this is bullshit. And then cherry on top, Aaron, Los Angeles, the Juliana incident. Okay. But see, and here's my question about the Juliana incident to Mike Rinder, who did talk about the final straw, right? Which was the incident in Los Angeles. My question to you, Mike Rinder, okay, where did that security footage from the ice cream store come from? And additionally, who obtained it? Why did you hold on to it for an entire year and then release it as like blackmail when Aaron wouldn't leave the board? Like, what was the point of that? Like, and if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, when Aaron was covering the, Danny Masterson trial in February, March of 2023, there was an incident in downtown Los Angeles near the courthouse outside of a CVS that involved Aaron. And the footage was later released on Mike's blog. I think Stephanie released it. I take that back. On Stephanie Hutchison's blog, right? And then you can't tell from this footage if it's Aaron or not in it, honestly. Like in a court of law, nobody's gonna be like, well, that's definitely Aaron Smith Levin. And then he stupidly does a response to Stephanie and says, well, that's me in the video, but I didn't hurt anybody, right? Let's see here. I want to show you guys a couple things here, okay? So look at that first try. Yes, I want to go to the street view. Thank you. Okay. Let me pull up Stephanie's blog here. I got to find these things here. But I'll show you guys what I'm doing here. See, all I got to do is type in AZ and like Stephanie's blog comes up. Stephanie, I know you own all these things and I'm going to show one of your things now. Okay. We got to go back in time. Back in time. Oh no, I crossed the line. Is that the one? What's this? Is that the one? The This Is War thing? No, that's not the one. Is that the one? Because I know she puts it up. She puts it up in her. Does she just have a... God, she doesn't even have a dedicated, thing to Aaron. Let's find Juliana. God, she writes a lot. That's him on Rabbit. Allegedly. Okay, so this is the photo of when Aaron's foot got cut in the thing. She throws a lot into... Okay, this is photos. I received these photos also. I didn't know whose head that was or what was going on. But this is the closed circuit video that somehow Stephanie Hutchison got the footage of. How she obtained this, I do not know. Okay, so let's play the incriminating video here. Okay, I'm going to make it bigger so you guys can see. Okay, this person here, I'm going to stop it. This person here is allegedly Aaron. I say allegedly because can anyone in the chat positively identify Aaron Smith Levin at that moment? Anyone? Bueller? No, you cannot. And there's clearly a tall man and a smaller person here. Let's please watch. Okay, she's grabbing his arm. She's holding his arm. Now what happens? He's walking with her. She steps in front of him. He turns around. She's still holding onto his arm. He violently or aggressively, I won't say violently, he gets her arm off. Now, there's a police car that drives by right there, everybody, right there, police car. Okay, let's keep going. She grabs him again. Now this time, okay, now that's the shove heard around the world. Let's rewind it. This gentleman in a skirt here catches that interaction, okay? But where are we in this video? Okay, we're at 36 seconds. So let's go back to 27 seconds here. Okay, now she's grabbing him and he got her off. Now she jumped on his back. She's jumping on his back and putting her arms around his neck right there. Okay. And then as the police car drives by, not giving two shits, he gets her off his back. Okay. Now he pushed himself away and pushed her that way. And yes, there was a building there that she, you know, fell off of him into. He didn't pick her up from his back and body slam her. Okay. I still contend 100%. I stick by what I said when I said that that just looked like somebody getting somebody off their back. I've been grabbed from behind like that by people who are like, piggyback. And then they're choking the shit out of you. Right. And they got to, you know, get them off. Okay. But keep looking at this. Like, this is at 400% zoom. Okay. And then he walks away down the street. This guy is like, what happened to that lady? I'm going to go check. And 3, 2, 1, and action. And she pops up right there. That guy's trying to talk to her. And now she literally runs down the street. She's running down the street. Okay. So he tossed her off of him. Now, the real question for me was, where did this video come from? How did this video get discovered? Who obtained the video? Okay, so let me get out of this. Now, this is the CVS, okay? This is the CVS in question that he was at, okay? We are at Broadway, and we're going to go up the street a little bit here to this other intersection, okay? Let's... is that the CVS? Where did my CVS go? That's not the CVS. Where did you go? Is it down here? Sunny Beaches. Right. Here we go. Okay, we're going to turn around. This is the CVS. Okay, you can see from the video that we are at, look at the pillars here in the corner. Okay, we're going to go all the way here and we're going to go across the street. We're going to turn around. Fucking dash bus. Okay, this is the same CVS. Okay, but like, really? Really, dash bus? Really? Where am I? No, that's not where I want to be. What did just happen? I want to go here. I want to be here. It keeps taking me to the wrong fracking thing. Jesus Christ. Street View, help a sister out here. No, I went the wrong way again. Guys, help me out. Okay, we got to go all the way down here. Okay, but you can see from the pillars here, same pillars, okay, same street. We'll go a little bit further and then we'll turn around, okay? So there it is. This is the street, okay? If we go a little closer, you can see here, it's the same pillars, okay? And this crosswalk and everything match the video. We'll go back, match it up. Now, this isn't there anymore. This was a little construction they had going on, but these are the same pillars that are right here on the bottom, okay? Right there. These are the same things, okay? Now, across the street, what is this? Bold communication and marketing. But let's look at these buildings here. Let's get a closer look. So you have this communication place, but you also have, and who has a security camera? Right there. The ice cream shop, okay? Or the Bold Communications place has one right on the corner. They've got a security camera right here, okay? So it either came from this Bold Communications Marketing LLC, which is permanently closed, okay, even though they had 8 reviews, or it came from this camera right here, okay, that is owned by the ice cream shop. And this is a hummus and falafel. This used to be actually, at the time, it was an ice cream shop, and now they moved out. That's interesting. And that's also permanently closed. But at the time of the incident, this was an ice cream shop that was open until earlier this year. That is fascinating. Anyway, they have a security camera right on the corner, and it's pointed right down there. So who, and I called them once and they were like, I can't talk right now, it's a rush. And then they hung up on me. Who called these people within hours of this incident and got this footage? Who got this footage and held on to it for a year and then gave it to Stephanie to post on her blog? There's only one person in the whole wide world who has admitted in these 7-part videos that he has inserted himself in several investigations in the Now Times, talking to police, talking to lawyers in cases he's not involved in. There's only one person who has the know-how, who had the motive to do that. It was either this man or Claire. Those are the only two people who could have obtained that information. Okay? That's the only two. And then I lean more towards Mike because his favorite lapdog, Stephanie Hutchison, posted the video. That indicates Mike. Okay, so let's just look at what we've cleared up today. Number one, this incredible email that came in from Nick Lister laid out Aaron's behavior toward him for 6 years as complete narcissistic sociopathic abuse by holding his story over him, by threatening him and blackmailing him with his own Scientology story, and preventing him from ever creating any other content about his own life with the threat of releasing this video that the subject, Nick Lister, did not want released. Okay? No, Britt, I understand that. You can FOIA request government cameras. It wasn't a government camera. Okay? It was definitely from the store owner, and somebody could have called them. What I want to know is, Britt, who called and why did you hang on to that footage for a year? For a year. I have many questions. My question is, did Aaron know that footage existed? Had the whole board seen it and decided to cover it up? So many questions. So many questions. Like, when I say to you guys, okay, and everybody who wants to come at me sideways, like, oh, you guys were friends for 30 years and you defended him so many times and all this stuff, and now you're just bitter panda. Okay, I understand that viewpoint. I 100% understand that viewpoint. And when you are under narcissistic influence, it is very similar to being in a cult. Okay. You're just in a different type of cult. It's a little bit smaller. And that's, the behavior is very similar. You make excuses. You justify a lot of things. You defend. You don't introspect or, try to figure out why things that don't make sense actually don't make sense, because you're barred from doing that. The only source of the information is the narcissist. And if you balk at their, rendition of events, then you are punished, right? And that punishment is psychological most of the time. Sometimes it can be physical. I was never physically hurt by Aaron. I do not want to start an allegation or a war. But I was psychologically damaged and continue to be by this man. And specifically, I mean, when he refers to me as Zero Dark Nora or encourages his followers to refer to me as that and then come in my chat and call me that and leave comments on my videos calling me that. When I spoke to Aaron, he was one of like 4 people that I spoke to on a daily basis about, what was happening to me psychologically because of Tony D'Amato, to which he mostly didn't respond, which made me communicate more, to which he then would call me every once in a while when I would be like really, really, really upset on my way driving to work, listening to Zero Dark Tony shit. And then Aaron would just scold me and scream at me while I'm crying and just say, stop watching it. Who cares? So yes, I was, and this is something that I'm working on because I have a I have a bad habit of being very, very trusting and very, very open in a very quick manner with people that I don't really know very well. I love people. That's just facts. I'm always been a people person. I love people, but I give too much of myself too freely to people that I shouldn't trust so quickly. And once I have given my trust, my love, my support, that's 100%. I'm all in. I'm on your team. Okay. When betrayal comes at me, oftentimes I will deflect that. Even when people I should trust are telling me that this is a bad situation and I'm being used and things are bad. I deflected that about Aaron from several people in my life who, family members, my wife, who tried to get me to see the truth of what was going on because I loved Aaron. And because of that, I, continued to defend him. I was like, oh, you just don't totally understand. You don't get him like I do. I understand him. He doesn't really mean that. It's not totally what he's saying. It doesn't really matter. Who cares about all that stuff? It's, this, that. It was just a lot of excuses that I was telling people publicly and also to myself. To justify the mistreatment, the upset, all of the things. And then finally, this public dismantlement of our friendship, which is permanent, is the very first time this has been public. This is not the first time that Aaron and I have had a spat, as it were, and, have stopped talking to each other. This is really like the 6th or 7th time that this has happened, literally over the last 7 years. Okay. And they've all been debilitating and hard and very upsetting. My wife has healed me through each and every one and has given me a stern talking to every single time I let him back into my life. And, that's not going to happen again. Only because I keep saying it out loud to make sure I'm reminding myself, nope. The second thing is that, are we talking? I'll get to your comment in a second here, Floating Needle. So yeah. And it doesn't really matter, my purpose for telling all of this and exposing this. Number one, these are questions that came up from Mike Rinder's videos. He made 7 videos. Those 7 videos are dedicated to, hate talking Aaron, which I wish at least one of those 7, Michael, would have been dedicated, to talking about yourself. Now, there was one other thing. Do you guys remember? Is it the last one? I'm trying to remember where he talks about the OSA files, because this is another point of contention. Does anybody remember which video that is? Guys, Dreamscape, Saul, guys, I'm going to pull this chat over if you guys can't keep it kosher in the chat. Let's just stick to what I'm talking about here. If you guys want to take it to the parking lot, you're welcome to do so. Not in the chat. Okay? Not in the chat. Let's keep it cool. Let's keep it cool. Does anybody remember, though, which video it was where Mike talked about the OSA files? Let me go back to Mikey's videos here. Oh, the Leah video? Oh, thank you. Okay. Also, I I have a theory about these videos, and I need somebody who is like, I know how to record stuff. I know how to edit things like on a very rudimentary level. But I need somebody who is a video audio recording expert to reach out to me in the chat. And I need to ask you a very important question about Mike's videos in general, because I have a theory. I mean, I could throw it out there after. Let me find this Leah quote here first. This it's not the Leah quote. Jesus, I can't talk. Maybe I'll have another sip of coffee here. Maybe that'll help. Okay. Let me pull it out here. Pop, 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 pop. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's very early on. All right, we'll just go. Here we go. Yes, 2007 he escaped. So I said that wrong the other day, 2005. So 2007 he escaped. Oh, it's not on the screen, Nora. It's not on the screen. Please hold. Here we go.
Many of you are aware of what's now being dubbed the, quote, OSA files. These were documents that I had on a thumb drive when I escaped Scientology back in 2007, sorry. And that thumb drive I turned over to the FBI in the first meeting I had with them.
Okay, so he turned over this thumb drive, or a copy of it, because we know he still had them, in 2007.
I never really worried about what was in those documents concerning me.
He never worried about what was in those documents concerning himself.
More worried about what was in those documents concerning innocent people who had become enemies of Scientology. And I never wanted any of those people to be hurt.
Okay, so if you guys aren't familiar, the people that are discussed that had operations ran on them, that Mike was running, okay, these are operations to ruin these people's lives, reputation, livelihood, their financial prospects, everything. Okay, and these are operations that Mike ran on these individuals who are considered enemies of the church by Scientology. So it was Mike's job to ruin these people. Now that he's out of Scientology and realizing they're not really bad guys, he doesn't want these people who he already fucked with to have what? Mike, you already did it. But you don't want them, they're innocent. We don't want to disclose their identity. What? It doesn't even make any sense, Mike. You already fucking hurt the people. Why not be public and say, I hurt Joan Jones, and here's what I did. I hurt Mary Hampton, and here's what I did. Why not do that? It's all in the files. Oh, yeah, I did. He brought it to the FBI. Well, now it's handled. Obviously, those people's lives are righted, and the FBI is just, rounded up all of the criminals in Scientology, including Mike Rinder, and put him in jail. No, nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. Let's get back to Mike here.
By any of the information that was contained in them. So I limited the dissemination of those documents to two people, Mark Headley and Leah Remini.
So he limited them to two people. Okay. Okay. He didn't want any of the information. He didn't want those people to be hurt. Let's hear that again.
Those people to be hurt by any of the information that was contained in them. So I limited the dissemination of those documents to two people, Mark Headley and Leah Remini.
Okay. And Aaron confirmed that in his Mike Rinder Poopadoodles video.
Mark Headley went on to use them in a series of YouTube videos that he did that he titled the OSA files.
Mm-hmm. Which was like a whole nothing burger. He really didn't get anything into anything deep.
And he was very careful not to hurt anyone that didn't deserve to be hurt.
Who decides who? Now that is a very key sentence. Let's go here. Okay.
And he was very careful not to hurt anyone that didn't deserve to be hurt.
He was very careful not to hurt anyone who didn't deserve to be hurt. So once again, Mike Rinder, Mark Headley, and subsequently, I'm going to guess Claire, who probably went over the files with him to discern what was what and how to pick out who's a good guy and who's a bad guy, wanted to make sure that nobody who didn't deserve to be hurt was hurt. Mike, you already hurt all the people in those files. The hurt already happened from you. But yet now you are going to stand on some sort of moral soapbox on high and gaze upon the criminals and decide who is worse than the other and is, worthy of your punishment and wrath, and who should be spared the rod. What? 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 Okay, and let's go look at Blown for Good. Sorry, I have to be good. Okay, here is Mark Headley's channel that he occasionally has his wife on and other people.
Shelly Miscavige. She has
Shelly Miscavige. Okay, so let's go to the movies. Okay, so let's go to his videos. Okay, and we're going to go down, down, down. He did a series. Okay. Scientology stories. Here we go. Scientology Spy Files number 24. Scientology's International Spy Network Explained. Mark, that title is too long. It's too long. I don't know. Did she? I don't see any dog pee in here. Okay. The dogs are getting Scientology Spy Files number 20, number 21. Okay. Number 22. Now he's getting good views on these things. Look at it. Look at these views that he's getting. Scientology Spy Files. He did 22 episodes, but only on the people that Mark and Mike decided were the people to condemn. So what people, let's just see here. Scientology makes its last plans to infiltrate an SP birthday party. Yeah, this is when they were all in Clearwater and there was a birthday party and like a PI was filming them. But also that's not something that Mike would have had access to because he was at the party. Right? I don't even understand. This was a thing with Mike and Marty. And this is where things get convoluted. Mark went off on a whole other thing and wasn't just talking about that. Anyway. So yeah, he did these spy files. And I don't know if any of them ended up being live. Let's see. All things Scientology. So Mike even had the title of that wrong. Oh, look, see here? He did a live one. And he brings who on? Who's going to talk with him? Pew, down, down, down.
a civil wrong. And
there's Mike. To talk about the spy files that he didn't want to talk about. But it's totally okay, for him to do it with Mark. Because he decides who is worthy of being exposed. He's still in charge of people in Scientology's and people who have left Scientology's destinies and whether they're worthy or not. I want to just check one thing here. I want you guys to listen at normal speed here. Just listen to Mike's voice.
False information contained in such a thing, it has a whole nother part to it.
Okay, so that's his voice there. Now, listen to it at 2x here.
Not to disclose information about anyone that they wouldn't want to have disclosed about them.
Okay, it's a little bit higher. If I go to like 1.5, what does it sound like?
But Leah had a copy of these documents, and
then if we go to normal,
she got tricked by Aaron Smith-Levin.
does anybody else feel like this has been slowed down artificially? The normal speed is slowed down artificially.
Into giving him a copy of those files. She knew that she shouldn't have done so, because I had spoken to her to make sure that she was aware that I didn't want them to get in Aaron's hands.
Now, I can clearly see, guys, I can clearly hear and see that he is struggling to speak and breathe, right? As opposed to the olden times, right? Which is, this is just 1 year ago.
And I'm not going to go into what all the legal ins and outs of this are.
Okay. But
because I felt that he would not treat them as they should be treated. He tricked Leah.
I'm just trying to look at the blinking. The blinking seems normal at the normal speed. Maybe I've just been listening to it too much at like 2x speed to be able to hear the difference.
Into believing that he would do something to make the documents searchable for her, which they were already searchable. But when he did so and got her to hand them over to him for that purpose, she made him promise that he would never use them without permission.
So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no. I mean, that's why also, guys, that's why I was also playing it at 2x speed. My stepdad, my pops, when he passed, he was 96 and he sounded like that also towards the end of his life. So yeah, no, it's very hard. But at 2x, he almost sounds like his old self.
Which he did. He promised that to her. Now, if there's one thing that...
Because if you listen to that and then you listen to him here.
I am not a lawyer. I just pretend to be one.
Anybody who knows Leah well knows without doubt she is incredibly loyal. It takes a...
So that's fine. I don't know. Either way, it was a thought that popped into my head. I don't have evidence of that. I'm not trying to start a rumor. It just, yes, this is true. Mine, you know, guys, I've done many voices on the show and things like that. This is true. Your voice changes during conversations all the time. Pushing air over vocal cords is hard work. Yeah. Okay, guys. So what if we, yeah, you can definitely see the muscle wasting. 100%. Oh, I'm not contending that Mike is sick or not. I'm not trying to, I think he's, if this is his confession, this may be the last thing we ever hear from him. It is, you know, sad and very sad. And guys, I want to reiterate, I said this during the very first video, when I watched this live and I had no idea, is that cancer sucks. Cancer is a horrific killer of people. It is not choosy. It does not care about your family life, your financial state. If you're a good or a bad person, cancer does not care. And I think it sucks. It's a horrific way for anyone to pass. And I've stated it before. I don't wish it on my worst enemy. I'm not happy that Mike Rinder is in this state and has cancer, and that he's probably going to pass very soon. I feel terrible for his children, specifically Jack, the child that he and Christy share, because he's young. And I know what that feels like okay, well, this is a hot topic from if you guys were at the beginning. So he didn't go to actually gold. He just ended up as the gold rep, which somehow still doesn't make sense how you're I'm just bitching about internal Sea Org stuff right now. Miriam, not you or what you're stating here. But it doesn't make any sense to me that you can hold a position at the Continental Liaison Office that is representing this higher, secretive organization and yet not be qualified for that organization and have known crimes. That to me is just that just shows the audience at hand here how absolutely insane the Sea organization is. Okay. Well, thank you. Anyway, it doesn't matter what I thought. He didn't go to gold. That's neither here nor there, but he was at the gold rep office and he did work at Celebrity Center. And that's how I knew him. But yeah, he didn't actually make it to the super secret int base in Hemet that we all know where it is now because everybody in the world can know it except for Sea Org members and Scientologists, which doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. All right, let's just recap here. Okay, let's recap. Number one, Mike had cancer the whole time. Okay, there was no. Okay. Miriam is a wealth of knowledge. I love her so much. So you at the rep office, you can be in this pending, state. Okay. Clearance lines, which means one day if you're a good boy or girl, you get to go, right? So you're in this limbo state of not qualified yet, but someday if we really like you, we'll let you into the super secret club. And on top of that, they knew about his crimes the whole time. But we're still telling him you're on clearance lines. It's disgusting. Miriam, the whole thing is disgusting. Okay, so what do we know? Number one, Mike had cancer the whole time, even when Aaron publicly stated and tried to imply that he didn't really have cancer. Okay. That's a fact. Aaron did that. His statements at that time, which was February of this year, implied that not only did Mike not really have cancer in the way that we all think of it, but he was cancer free. And all he had to do is just keep taking this medicine and he's going to be fine. All of that is not correct and ignorant. Okay. So yeah, that's number one. Number two, Mike Rinder is still playing God. When he handed the OSA files to Leah and to Mark to say, make sure you only talk about the people who deserve to get hurt. So some of the people who Mike decided don't deserve to get hurt will never be spoken about. And therefore, Mike's crimes against those people remain hidden. Because his reasoning is, if we don't talk about this operation on Susie May, then she gets to retain her privacy and nobody has to know what terrible things I did to her. The simple way to do that, Michael, is to redact her name and tell everybody what you did to her. Refer to her as Jane Doe. Refer to her, the men as, John Doe. It's that simple, Mike. You have crimes. You ran operations on these people. You ruined their lives or attempted to ruin their lives with Scientology policy at your side. And they deserve to know that you did those things, that they were not crazy, that their dogs were poisoned by an OSA operative, that their phones were in fact illegally tapped, that the times that their tires were slashed, that was you. That's what those people need to know. No, you don't have to reveal their names. In doing that, you can take the time to redact it. But take responsibility for your actions. And Aaron has the files. Why hasn't he done that? Why hasn't he just redacted these names to reveal Mike Rinder's crimes? And he's gatekeeping them. Won't let anybody else have them. You know, don't want them to get in the wrong hands. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. The wrong hands. Again, playing God. Playing God. Even, you know, like, oh, okay, we don't want it to get in the hands of who? Pete Jensen and Juliana and this other lady who supposedly run these things. What would they do with them that would be awful? Would they reveal Mike Rinder's crimes? Or are these people so evil that they are going to dox innocent people who had their lives ruined? Again, maybe I'm being Pollyanna, you know? But these are questions. These are questions. Okay. Somebody sent me money. Thank you, guys. Matrix Tech Solutions, hands doing a high five. High five for you, my friend. Thank you. Jilly Beans, thank you for the super chat. That's very kind. Oh, is that? Okay, now I'm going to get it wrong. I know it's a Star Wars helmet. Is that the helmet that Darth Vader wore when he's in the X-Wing? Because that's amazing. All right. Kells Bells, thank you for this hippo wearing a hat. That's amazing. Thumbs up to you. Paralyzed. You think I'm right about the audio manipulation? I don't know. That's why I need an audio video expert to like analyze those videos. And you tell me. I don't know. It's just something that popped into my brain when I was watching like the old footage. But it could be wrong. Sometimes my brain just, gets excited, guys. I have a very excitable brain. And you've been down those rabbit holes with me, guys. That's how my brain operates. All right, let's go to comments. Aubrey says, whoa. Yeah, exactly. You prefer the swearing, Mother Baggins? It's authentic. It is authentically me. I'm just trying to be slightly better at it. I had to talk to a customer service agent today and I was at a 25 and I said, this is fucking bullshit. And I had to be careful because I have been that person on the other side of the phone. And, yeah, if you swear, they can just hang up on you. That's kind of like the rules. So I said, I'm sorry, I'm not swearing at you. I'm just really upset about the situation. And they were like, that's fine. So like, you just have to be really careful with how you choose to swear when you're on with a customer service person. Yeah. You remember a while back, Trisha, seeing a video of Aaron from police interview talking about his hacking incident. Yeah, there is a video of that. I don't know if Stephanie again put that up. If somebody can direct me to where that is, we can show that because that's evidence from this letter of that accusation being accurate. I know it's out there. I don't remember where it is. So if somebody has that, please, email me, text me, send a carrier pigeon, something. You're going to watch on the replay. Well, thank you. Thank you, Kelly. And it does help the algorithms when you leave comments here. I appreciate you. It definitely boosts the algorithm. Yes. Okay. Let's see here. Usually replay crew, Melinda in Seattle. Well, hello, my foggy neighbor. How are you today? So appreciate your voice of reason and utilization of your word clearing skills. You are the bomb. Love you back. Yeah, the flying monkeys does sound like Stephanie. It absolutely does. Absolutely. Let's see here. Aaron has his own Danny mining op. Yeah. Got caught on that one though. Yeah, you read that email on the thing? I missed it. Yes, I missed it for 2 days, guys. And now you're tuning in here. Weird timing. His email floored me. I've always been impressed with Nick Lister. Do we know the date of the email? No, it's redacted apparently. But if you go back in time, right, he's talking about 2023. Aaron released those videos of Nick and then took them back again and then re-released them this year in May as retaliation. Every time he wants to get back at Nick Lister, he re-releases that set of videos in retaliation against Nick. I don't know who does that. That action is the action of a narcissistic psychopath. That's what that action communicates. Your comment disappeared. This one? These people, Mike and Aaron, aren't nice people? I don't know. Oh, the live video was just to say that SBTV is registered as a tax exempt by the IRS. Well, I'm glad that, hey, listen, there's a lot of people who donated to SBTV Foundation. And I am happy to hear that they are officially registered with the IRS as a tax exempt organization, so that those people who donated their hard-earned money can get a tax break on that for their 2024 taxes. That's fantastic. That's awesome. I don't have anything critical to... Why would I have something to bitch about that, Aaron? Jesus H. Christ on a cracker. Like, there's nothing to bitch about that. Good job. Good job on filing paperwork. Congrats. Vicky at the warehouse says, I always thought that Mike held on to the files until the statute of limitations expired on anything he might have done that might be in there. Oh, is that why he held on to him for 16 years? Well, see, and this is where things get murky for me. He has said, and he's never wavered from this, okay, that he turned over that thumb drive, okay, all the files in 2007. And then magically turns them over to Leah and Mark Headley in 2023. And it's like, oh, by the way, happy birthday. This is the secrets that I've been hanging on to. And now that I'm dying, we're going to just, you can have. Right. Yeah, it doesn't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Because if he actually turned those into the FBI and there were actionable crimes on them in 2007, okay, when he had just left the Sea organization, why did the FBI take no action? And even if they didn't understand the documents, why didn't they call him in for a follow-up or call in a Scientologist to discuss the matter? Or did the FBI contact Scientology and hand them the files and say, we don't know what to make of this. What is this? And they said, it's nothing. It's just his notes. He's an insane person. Like, these are valid questions. Or did he ever go to the FBI and give these things over? That's another question. I would love some proof that Mike Rinder handed those files, all of them. I would love proof that those are entered into the FBI database. Can we do a FOIA request for that? Does anybody know? Because if they're not in the FBI database and we contact the FBI and we ask them to verify that, I don't know that they can or not. I mean, if it's an actual ongoing investigation, they'll just say no comment. But if they have these things, and they just sat on them for 16 years, or 17 years, that's a whole other, ball of wax. But did they ever receive them? Or when they got this thumb drive, where they're just like, yeah, thanks, bro. Great story. Like, these are all questions. Aubrey, you put your question with a comment in it. Couldn't he bring those files? Couldn't he himself bring those files to the FBI with the ability or some way to decipher them with like comments in a word or something? Yeah, like make it linkable so that he could, answer questions to the people. But you have to realize this is 2007, Aubrey, when he did that. That we didn't have now technology for that. We didn't have, shareable docs at that time where you can all comment together. Comment to Marilyn. Aaron argues that Tampa Bay Times was wrong reporting he had 2 bar incidents during his campaign, but I just read it and that's not what they reported. He's mixing fact and fiction. Yeah. He's really having a hard time keeping his story straight, guys. Oh, you were asking if Aaron could bring those in. Yeah. Why doesn't Aaron just go to the FBI office with them? Yeah, you suspect the point of releasing that video, the security footage, was to get him to leave the board? Yeah, me too. Me too. Was Scientology watching Aaron the entire time? Oh, those Scientology cameras. Those are not Scientology cameras. And no, Scientology wasn't. I mean, I think he had mentioned when he was, sorry guys, my back is still awful. When he was in LA, 1 second, guys, 1 second. Thank you for waiting. He mentioned when he was in LA, like on the Lime scooter and stuff, that there were definitely like PIs trying to follow him around and things like that from the courtroom. So he would just like drive around on the Lime scooter to like lose them so they wouldn't follow him back to his hotel and stuff. So it's possible. It's possible. But I don't know how they would have gotten. I don't know. It's possible that it's Scientology footage and then they didn't use it. I don't know why they wouldn't use it though. That would imply that Mike is still in contact with Scientology, because he's the only one that could have given that footage to Stephanie. Yeah, Lone Dinosaur. The Nick Lister email is the nail in the coffin for me. I find it damning as hell and extremely troubling. I've always thought Nick Lister was honest and credible, and they all just ignored it. Yeah. Yeah. I have to do something real quick here, guys, because this video is clearly not over yet. Just the small one. Thank you. Yep, just that one. Thank you. Oh no. Oh. Mike's playing in the background. I've got too many things going on here, guys. Too many things going on here. 1 second. I have to move my live on my other channel because it's supposed to start right now, and I need to move it to a later time. And that's fine. There we go. Oh no. There we go. Sorry, guys. This is what happens when you have multiple channels going. All right. So let's see here. That's just disgusting. Why would we give him the benefit of the doubt when his patterns are so clear? No, I get you. I get you. I'm not giving anybody, I got you. Okay, Floating Needle. I said I was going to get to your comment. I'll bring it up. Please clarify how you exposing this man and bringing this old story. I love how we're prefacing this with the old to the forefront and everyone's attention again, going to ease his mental health. Who are we talking about? I want to be very clear. Are you talking about Aaron? Or are we talking about Mike Rinder? If we're talking about Aaron, is he having a mental health problem? I'm unaware of that because he seems very unbothered by the whole situation. Just like apparently, allegedly, the quote that Mike said once the Columbia revelation came out, his attitude was, "Here I am, the king of cocaine and hookers in Columbia." And that's kind of his attitude right now. He's just going to go on other people's channels and scream at me and anyone else who speaks out against him and declare things like, if you're a friend of DOAs, then you're dead to me. Like, so any protest, let me just get this straight, Aaron. Let me just clarify your statement here. Any person connected to Scott Hofstetter, okay, aka DOA, aka oh, thank you for the clarification. So you're talking about Nick Lister? Okay. Well, as I pointed out, I did not show those videos that are sitting there on Aaron's channel that he released as retaliation against this man. I'm pointing out that Nick Lister was telling the truth from the beginning. And he should have been listened to. I hope it doesn't harm his mental health to have me, acknowledge that he was correct. And Mike Rinder kind of trying to ride the train of him being a truth teller and exposing the fact that, I love how Mike doesn't address the fact that the Aftermath Foundation employees, and board members were out there in the public combating any negative comments, any questions, any, absolute not kittens and rainbows coming out of somebody's booty comments everywhere on forums, their channels, etc., to try and protect Aaron from all of these actions that he was doing, to try and protect their foundation that Aaron subsequently had started from Aaron's own actions in the public. That seems like they're the problem. And Nick was very clear in his letter that they were the problem. They were, as Mike tried to incorrectly label Aaron's soon-to-be ex-wife, Heather, enabling him. Because the narcissist, as we know, can never take responsibility for their own crimes, but does point the finger at other people for the crimes they have committed. Michael, you were an enabler of Aaron for many years. You hid his crimes. You spoke to newspapers to make sure they didn't, go in full force to, really reveal his character. You used your connections in many different places to blow a smokescreen around Aaron's unethical, narcissistic, sociopathic behavior inside your organization and outside of your organization. You continued your role as the chief PR officer and chief, spy wing master, but you just were crowned a board member inside of the Aftermath organization instead. And just like your time at OSA, you're going to point to the real bad guy instead of pointing your finger at yourself. You love, all you, Mark, Claire, you, Amy, Matt, you guys love to talk about Miscavige. Yeah, they got stories for days about how cruel and gross David Miscavige is. Okay. How about the things that David Miscavige asked you to do that you did? And some things you did because you knew if you didn't do them, David Miscavige would get real, real mad at you. And how about the things you just did because it was Scientology? How about that, Mike? How about that? You don't talk about that. You're very careful. You never put yourself in the OSA word. You say when OSA does something, they, separating yourself from the organization that you were head of for 25 years. When David Miscavige would want OSA to do something, they would do blah, blah, blah. It's very, very crafty, Michael. It's very crafty. Up to the very end, Michael. Unwavering in your denial of your participation in any of these criminal activities. Touché. Touché, my friend. Touché. Maybe this toxicity inside of you that you're trying to unburden is actually about you. Try that. Try that on for size. This is a fact. I find it troubling that both you and Nick Lister have said Aaron ignored your mental health, and knowing you were having unaliving thoughts, he proceeded to torment you both. Yeah, guys, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I don't know if there's other people out there too or not. There could be. I mean, with this pattern of behavior, it wouldn't shock me if there were others who had a similar pattern play out against them. Oh, no. Yeah. He didn't bring forth any of this information during the airing of the show or the production of the show or anything. Leah did not know that these files existed. There would have been a lot of stuff to expose in there, including her co-host, who's an unindicted co-conspirator in most of those crimes. I don't think he would have been the co-host, y'all. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, this is true. Aaron can't have his flying monkeys be friends with me. That's yeah. Okay. But also, I find it unique here. Okay. And you guys all saw my public, dispute and upset and dislike of DOA play out in real time. I made no secret of what I consider to be the fact that I thought Scott was there to do one thing, and that was destroy the protest movement and to bring havoc to the ex-Scientology community. I believe that 1,000,000%. Okay. We got into it. We shouted at each other. He made videos where he was making cute faces while I was pissed off. We've done the whole thing. Okay. And then, I did my big video where I was very, very upset. And, it all went downhill from there with me and Aaron. The video Aaron demanded I take down, but he's not going to take down his video, which he has subsequently admitted was about me, wasn't about me, was about me. Everything's about me. Me. Yeah. He can't make up his mind if it was about me or not, if Sterling left because of me or not, or, if he cared about that or not. Like, his story just keeps changing. It's odd. Like, you should maybe watch back one of your videos or something. And remember what you said, or write it down and keep the script in front of you on a Post-it or something. That's probably helpful. Yeah. And then after that video, Scott sent me a very heartfelt, 1 second. Sorry, that was very slurpy. I apologize. A very apologetic, sincere apology, an apologetic apology. That was too many apologies there. Where he took full responsibility for his actions with no excuses, no blame. And he also said, listen, I don't expect you to reply. And you don't have to say anything back to me. I just wanted to let you know I regret my actions and I take full responsibility for them. And I apologize. I sat on that apology for about a week. I didn't say anything to Scott, And then we have slowly over the last few months started talking to each other about things, you saw the live that he and I did with Kelly, the Intuitive Inquirer, where we talked about protesting and effective protesting and what he's done good and what I wish he wouldn't do anymore and what's important and all these things, and I'm not in charge of the protesting. I'm just one person. I'm an ex-member. I know what gets through to people when they're there and what just fucking turns them off completely and will literally make them not hear one word you have to say. And that was a great productive conversation. Are Scott and I best friends? No, we're not. But I appreciate the time that he is committing to bringing awareness to Scientology and to interacting with the Scientologists that he does encounter and trying to get them to realize, like, the things that he started saying recently, like, you're worth more than $50 a week, I think is fucking great. Okay. Has he done everything perfect this whole time while he's been protesting? No. Have I? No. Has Aaron? Absolutely not. So for Aaron to shut down a singular protester who, outside of Streets and Jessica Palmadessa, has the largest following of people tuning in and, watching his streams, to say he's persona non grata, like, who the fuck are you to decide that? And tell, not only that, like, it's fine for you, Aaron, to not want to collaborate with him and not platform him, as you like to say, and promote his stuff. That's fine. But to literally say out loud on Marilyn's video, please go check the tape, guys, that anyone who associates with DOA is an enemy. That's some highfalutin shit. So does that mean that your childhood friend Laura's an enemy? Is Serge an enemy? Is Jessica Palmadessa and Streets, are they enemies? Is Henri an enemy? Is MD Media 18 an enemy? Is Audit LA an enemy? These are all people who are doing the daily fucking work to bring awareness to Scientology. Okay, and put it under the microscope with a big bright light on it every single day. You know, and you and Reese hitting the streets and doing, you know, Billy on the streets. Okay, that's also, it's entertaining. But you're not talking to the Scientologists, you know, like really talking to them, Aaron. Really trying to engage with them and ask them actual questions instead of chasing them down a darkly lit street at night and they're an elderly woman and you just want to like, I just want to ask you about Danny Masterson. Like, most Scientologists don't even know who the fuck Danny Masterson is. Most of America doesn't know who Danny Masterson is because they never watched that show. He's a D-list actor. He always was. Yeah, he committed horrific crimes. And guess what? He's in jail. His wife is divorcing him. Running after women in vulnerable positions and screaming that you just want to ask them about Danny Masterson is not only not productive in bringing down the cult of Scientology in any way, shape, or form, it is terrorizing those people with your size and your voice and proving to them that everything that Scientology has told them about the outside world, about ex-members, is 1,000,000% true. That we are dangerous, that we only want to hurt them, that nothing good happens when you leave Scientology. And to put the cherry on the top, Aaron, you're the person who's answering the phone when these people call your organization for help. Now, as Mike revealed in this series of videos, which I think is the most important piece of information, that you were taking advantage of that access, allegedly, during your time at the Aftermath Foundation to turn people away before the rest of the board members knew that someone had even asked for help, A, and B, to use people for content. Now, Reese has never addressed the accusation or the supposition that Mike made. I would love to hear Reese's thoughts on this. Did she call, as Mike stated, did she call the Aftermath Foundation to ask for assistance from them? Or, as Aaron has stated, did she call to phone a friend and just, have somebody to talk to, which both scenarios make sense, okay? Because when you're trying to leave Scientology, you need somebody in secret to talk to bounce all of the crazy things going off your head, who can give you information and give you reassurance. That's a plausible scenario. I just want to know which scenario, Reese, is the actual scenario. Okay? So I just, yeah, I want to know. And my follow-up question for Aaron is is this the actions that you are currently taking with the phone number that you so summarily dismissed in your interview with DOA? Are you currently using your access to people calling in or writing directly into the foundation, your access to that particular email, to take steps to turn people away summarily without presenting their request to the rest of the board for contemplation? These are valid questions, Aaron. I have email proof that you are turning people away at the SPTV Foundation. At least one person. I'm waiting for other people to email me. But if you have done this, then we have a right to know. that you are misusing your position of power at your position. You don't like the word power. You know, I'm not in power. Your position of authority. Okay. Being the president of something is an authoritative position, whether you like it or not. You didn't want that position. You should have just made yourself a board member and made somebody else the president. You made this thing. And no, I don't wish it were me. Okay. Like, I'm glad I'm not a board member on that crazy ass board. I know why you didn't pick me. Look how I pick things apart and investigate shit. I would have found that this whole thing was a sham within a week. And I would have caught your ass, you know, turning people away without sending it to the rest of us. And you know that. I would have called you out. I would have made a public stink about it like I am right now. So it's fine. It's fine. I do. I poke my nose in places. It's a big nose. Yes, I know, Ms. Otter. The whole interview was posted 9 years ago. He re-released that. It was hidden. It was private on his channel. That's when they originally recorded it, was 9 years ago when Aaron started the channel. And then it was hidden, wasn't on there. And then it was again in 2023. Then he took it back down. And now he's put it back up since May of this year when he recut it up into all those shorts. So just to give you guys that. Okay. Traveltology says a USB stick is listed in the FBI files that I looked at, mailed to Aaron and Natalie at the start of this year and discussed with Fat Grammy. Yes, please do. Traveltology, send that on over. Red Rover, send it on over. I remember Jeffrey Augustine saying he tried to get footage from CVS for Aaron. That Aaron released the footage? I don't know. That sounds interesting. Yeah. Heidi's mind. Exactly. 16 years is a long time. Are those agents still around? Is the drive in the bottom of a drawer? Irrelevant info 16 years ago could be highly significant today. Yes. Yes. Yeah. He's saying he did all this to protect the good name and reputation of the Aftermath Foundation. Unless you watched the TV show and then followed Aaron, who knew the foundation existed? Exactly. It's not like this is, you know, the SPCA or Greenpeace. It's a teeny tiny foundation, guys. Oh, okay. I would love to do that too. I love Kelly, and I thought we had a great discussion. I will absolutely do that. Yes, she doesn't post anything about the protesters anymore. Do you think that that could be because Aaron said anyone who's friends with DOA is an enemy, and therefore that's like every protester? So now none of them can be covered? So let's not talk about what the protesters are doing, what they've accomplished, the inroads they're making, because fuck them, they're friends with DOA. Fuck whatever great things have happened. Meetings that are occurring now with Congress people, with other people that are in important places of power. But, you know, fuck those guys because they're friends with the guy who lives in the van who Aaron doesn't like. That doesn't even make any sense. This is why I've been working very diligently and slowly on a working relationship with Scott, because I think that a lot of the things that he does are valuable. It's valuable to bring attention. And when I think something isn't good or like the best, I let him know that. Like, hey man, that was a little over the line. I get your intention because I watched the whole thing, but if you clip that part out, it looks real bad. Okay. So like, yeah, I'm giving him notes and I'm trying to help him out. And I, you know, try to highlight the things that I can highlight when something important happens, like that whole breakdown I did of when the two girls ran from the building, you know? And I'm going to be trying to do that on a more regular basis because I personally think that the protests are the most important thing. And somebody in my comments on my video yesterday said, and correctly so, I don't remember who said this, but they said that if I, you know, and I've said before that the never-ends are going to be the ones that take down Scientology, that I should do some interviews with some never-ends, you know, not just Kelly, but other people who are been invested in this movement. and highlight their work and get their ideas and opinions and things. And absolutely, I want to do that. I want to have you guys on and let's talk about it and let's highlight these important things, right? Because if we can take the OSA files, okay, and hang on one second. So this is, I don't know where this information is coming from, Mousy. So this is allegedly when someone called, Lewis and Aaron would discuss it between the two of them, whether or not to like bring it to the rest of the board. If they decided yes, then it was brought to the Aftermath board. At what point then did Aaron just solely make that decision and not talk to Lewis? That's my, these are all questions, Aaron, that I would love answers to. And other people clearly want answers to these as well. Yes, please replay you commenting at the meetings. You call in all the time. Okay, I need to do that. You're correct. We need to have that in there. Yeah, it could be a legacy thing. That's possible. That's possible, Doc. It's absolutely possible. Let me get to your questions because I haven't even gotten to that yet. And then I got to eat, guys, before I go do my next stream. I'm going to be honest with you. All right, question. Did Mark Headley ever work with him since he did a lot of things with audio, visual, and mics and things like that? Well, you've seen the stuff they've done together. They've done a lot of stuff on the channel together. Mark Headley was in charge of a lot of audio, visual stuff that was produced, in the live and in other things at Gold. But that's more of a question for Mark. I don't know directly if he ever did anything for Mike directly in the Sea Org. I have no clue. Did he work with Miriam's dad? No, because he wasn't ever at Gold. He was at this like limbo area in the Continental Liaison Office where he was like on the security clearance to go to Gold. But in the meantime, he was working as the Gold rep there. I don't know when this question came in, Jason. So I don't know. Yes. So just to recap here, Aubrey, Aaron Smith-Levin started growing up in Scientology with Nick Lister. Okay. They started the channel together as a mutual operation and then broke up very quickly after because Aaron did that long ass interview. Nick said, I don't want that out there. Actually, let's do something else. And Aaron was like, it's content. It's awesome. We're leaving it. It's kind of what happened. I don't know what this means, Nash. What happened to Luis Garcia? He's still alive and well, as far as I know. He's just kind of like laying low. Why would Aaron answer any questions? I don't know. That's a good question, Paula. Let's see here. Do I dislike Mike Rinder more than I am hurt and feel betrayed by Aaron? I feel an equal dislike for both of them. And that's for two similar but different reasons, okay? And saying I dislike Mike Rinder isn't actually even correct. I consider him to be a criminal who is unindicted, jailed, and is not coming clean, right? Because he did criminal acts while he was the commanding officer of the Office of Special Affairs. That's not in question. That's not an allegation. That's a fact, okay? That was his job. He has said that. He's been quoted as clarifying that in many different articles for massive publications. When people wanted somebody followed or harassed, that was my job and I did it. Okay. He has admitted to that, but not with like specifics, just a very broad, like, I was a bad guy. Okay. I have distrust of Mike for that reason because he's an unreformed criminal. I do not trust or like Aaron and have withdrawn my friendship from him, which means withdrawing my trust, my loyalty, my everything, right? Because I finally was, through therapy, through time, through the DSR shots, able, with more tools under my belt, to recognize Aaron's narcissistic sociopathic tendencies and realize that I had, been under the influence of a narcissistic sociopath, and that I don't want to do that, and that I think that he's dangerous. And here's where Mike and I agree. I do think Aaron is dangerous. I think he's a danger to any human trafficking, SA, Scientology survivor that he comes across. I don't think his intentions are pure. Okay. I think that him setting up not one, but two foundations to help former victims or former members of this cult that he is no longer a part of is a mask for people to ignore his bad deeds and his narcissistic actions, to say, well, how can he be a bad guy? Because he's helping all these people. Narcissists, guys, hide in plain sight with such masks. They are often in positions of power, in positions of philanthropy. I was trying to put too many syllables in that. Philanthropy, to hide themselves in plain sight. Abusers do that. Look at Brian Kent. Okay, Brian Kent's perfect example of that. Here's a guy who became a lawyer to fight for childhood, victims of sexual abuse because he himself was abused as a child. Grew up, became a lawyer, fighting the good fight, gets put on the board of Child USA, helps craft these laws. And what is he doing behind the scenes? Abusing his clients. Not just the client, Jane Doe, who, is out there from this thing. But as soon as that went public and the Philadelphia Bar Association was examining his, law license, more women came forward with the same story. Okay. So similarly, as we have seen the actions of Aaron played out in the public sphere, now being partially confirmed by Mike Rinder, who admittedly covered them up. He just likes to gloss over that, and I covered them up, like he's a kid, not looking at you like, where is the money? I don't know where the money is. That's like my kids when I ask them anything and they're guilty of something. I don't know. They can't talk then. This has all been laid out. I laid it out. I got beat down. I got told I'm a hysterical woman. I'm a see you next time. I'm bitter. I'm mad about Aaron doesn't like me. I'm mad that he didn't put me on the board. I'm mad for so many reasons. No, y'all, I'm mad that I put my trust, my stamp, my name behind a person whose actions over the last 3 years, not just to me, but many others in our community, and to his own very first partner here on the internet, have been horrific. And you can brush this off and brush that off. I don't care about his conductor wand, and I don't care about this. It doesn't change that those actions happened. It doesn't change that he has hurt a series of women over these past 3 years, including his own wife. And when I say hurt, okay, I mean is sex, boom, bye, use it and lose it. That's what I mean. Okay. We have seen the videotape of him inebriated in Florida while running for an elected office, screaming, "See you next time," about a woman to a cop. These were actions that he thought was okay while being the vice president of a charitable organization and running for public office, where he thought he was going to then be the representative of ex-Scientologists on a, city council to block Scientology's actions. How in God's green earth was he going to be a good representation of former Scientologists with those public actions? How is he a good representation of former Scientologists with his public actions now? I am not perfect. I've fucked up. I've screamed at people. I've done all these things. The difference is when I fuck up and I make a mistake, I own it. I don't know how many apology videos I've done. I don't know how many times I've done a retraction. I did a retraction at the beginning of this video to let you know I had facts wrong, because facts and truth and integrity matter. And if you're here to actually help other people, and if you're here to make up, and this one goes to Mike Rinder, if you're here to make up the damage, okay, for the things, the shitty things you did inside the C organization, then you got to start coming clean on those things, Michael. Clearly, time is running out for that mission. But just because you do a couple good things in the now times, in the after times, and you help a couple people, and you go on a show and you make millions of dollars off of other people's trauma, does not forgive or release you from your crimes. It does not. It does not absolve you of those crimes. First, it's like in the 12-step program, right? First, you have to admit and say your crimes out loud, in full. Then you go to the people to which you committed those crimes, and you apologize to them directly. And you take full accountability. And then you do actions to make up for the crimes. You don't just do nice things so people don't look at your crimes and brush them off, Aaron, Michael. That doesn't, okay? Somebody gave me a great analogy. Okay, I'm going to use it. That's like making someone a cup of coffee, okay, and then taking a piss in it, and then being like, oh, I'll just put some sugar in the coffee and a nice pile of whipped cream on top, and then hand it to you. There's still piss in the coffee. It's piss coffee that you're serving us here. Okay? You need to dump the coffee out, which means tell your crimes, and then wash the cup, and then make a new fucking cup of coffee with no pee-pee in it. And I'm talking to both of you. Because this whole like, look at me, look at all the good stuff I do, I'm a good person. Don't talk about the bad things that I did because it doesn't matter. I'm doing good stuff, so I get to do bad things and shove them away. No, you don't. No, you absolutely the fuck do not. Those bad things matter because those are real people that you hurt. You need to make that up to those people specifically and come clean. And if you are unable, Aaron, to cease this activity in a public arena, then you need to step down for the good of your organization. If you really believe in the mission of the SPTV Foundation, of really helping other people, you would do it a gigantic favor and step down from any affiliation with it, emeritus or otherwise, and make sure that they hire a non-Scientologist with years of expertise in running a board for trauma survivors who is themselves trauma informed. If it's really about helping people and really about making that happen, you might consider doing that. That would probably show everybody, hey, he's actually taking this shit seriously. He really wants to help people. But the longer you stay there as the president with your YouTube linked directly instead of a bio, everything you do on YouTube, including all of the nasty things you say about me, all of the nasty nicknames you make up for me and other people, are a direct reflection and representation of the SPTV Foundation. Because you have married those two things together, Aaron. Not everybody else in our imagination. You did that. So you got to make up your mind. Are you really here to help people? Is this really about you, shutting down Scientology and helping people? Or let's not even talk about Scientology right now. Let's just talk about helping people who have left Scientology. If that's what it's really about, if that's what the SPTV Foundation is really about, then you should resign and find adequate and better replacement for yourself. And get somebody to answer the phones who's going to take copious notes and turn that information over to every board member without your filter or spin on it or your desire to get inside information for your content. Those are my recommendations. That's, but what do I know? I'm just a hysterical woman. Matrix Tech Solutions, you sent me another super sticker. Thank you very much. Fresca Mixed. Curious if ASL was a narc before his YouTube success. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist. I cannot diagnose him and wouldn't accurately be able to tell you that. That is up for people. I'm just saying the actions that he's committed against me and other people are narcissistic and sociopathic in nature. Blake Reed. Hey, Blakey. I don't know the best way to apologize to DOA, but I do apologize. I didn't think about how much he and others went through protesting until later. You know what I'm going to do? I don't know if he's watching right now, but I'm going to take a little screenshot, Blake, and I'm going to text it to him later. I'm going to text him your public apology. Okay. And, I'm sure he'll reach out to you on Messenger or somewhere else or something, but I will text that to him later. Guys, this has been amazing. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I am having a stream on Onomurka at 3:45, so that's in a half an hour. And if you guys haven't visited, please do me a favor. I want some feedback. There we go. Please visit my merch website here. And give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think about the merch. It's razedinscientology.com. We've got some sweatshirts, some t-shirts, hats. We've got a mug, those things. Check it out. You're not obligated to buy anything from me. If you want the merch, it's there. There's also merch stores for all the other channels if you're more interested in those things. But let me know. Let me know. If there's product you want to see in here, give me... the correct tee comes in more colors. Capricious Caroline. It doesn't come in black because of the lettering, but it does come in more colors than white. Anyway, guys. Oh, Super Pup. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this super chat. I will check my email. I always check my email after every show, guys. I try to get back to everybody. Sometimes I read it and I reply in my mind. So just know that you've all been replied to in my mind. That's not really helpful. I'll try to be better about that. All right, guys. Thank you always for tuning in here. And I will see you all on the Flippity Dippity. Thank you so much to the mods, to the members, and everybody who tuned in today. Click that link. Find me everywhere. We'll chat. It's fun. Or send me some money. I need it.